So today in this video, I'll share with you the best camera settings that you can use with iPhone 17 Pro to take amazing photos. I've been using this phone as a camera for a lot of different types of photo shoots. I've been doing professional work, I've been doing fashion photo shoots, portrait photo shoots, and also some street photography. Why? Because I wanted to test the best combination of settings to take photos with iPhone 17 Pro. Photos which look like they come from a digital camera, professional camera, not even from an iPhone. Also, if you like this video in the end, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and maybe give a thumbs up to the video if you like it. So right, without waiting any further, let's get on with it. Now before we start talking about the best camera settings to set, there is something that I really want to talk about because it is related. Now I want to talk about this. Now this is the new camera control button, and what it does is it allows you to control the whole camera app on this phone just with one button, right? So just to give you an idea, if I click on this button once, I can launch the camera app really quickly. So imagine you're walking down a street and you see something interesting. You just press on this button, camera control button, it launches the app really quickly and you can take a photo. So you won't miss any moments, right? But that's not the only thing that this button does, right? In fact, now is the best time to go into settings and show you all the wonders, right? So now I will go into camera settings, and under camera settings, the first thing is system settings. So under system settings, you can see camera control. I'll click on it, and now firstly you can choose what kind of camera you want to launch. Now with iPhone, I always choose to go with the default camera app, so I'll choose that. But sometimes people use other camera apps like Blackmagic or other camera apps, so you can choose that. I'll go with the default camera app, right? Next thing is you can choose whether to launch the camera app on single click of that button or double click. Now in my experience, these camera control buttons on iPhone 17 Pro are a bit delicate. So even if your phone is inside your pocket, the button can get pressed and the camera app can get launched really quickly, and you might not even be aware of it, and the battery of the phone starts draining. Especially while handling the phone, it's very easy to press this button. So I will choose double click, right? Just to make sure that I don't accidentally drain the battery and launch the camera app. Next up is require screen on. Now I usually turn it on. The reason is, again, I don't want the camera app to launch when the screen is off. The next thing is camera adjustments. Now this is really cool. If you turn it on, it allows you to basically access all camera adjustments just by light pressing or swiping this camera control button. Really cool. So I usually turn all the settings on. So I want to see exposure, depth, zoom, camera, style, tones, everything, right? So I usually turn everything on. Next up is clean preview, right? So it basically hides the app controls while making adjustments. Totally up to you. I usually turn it off. The next up is lock, focus, and exposure. So now what it allows you to do is, if you slightly press and hold the camera control button, you can basically lock, focus, and exposure on a subject directly, right? Which is really cool. So I usually turn it on. The next up is accessibility, and I usually turn it on because, again, if you turn it on, you can basically use different gestures on this camera control button to either launch the camera button or make adjustments, or just use it as a shutter, camera shutter. So it's really cool. So I usually turn it on. Now we go back and let's talk about other camera settings that you should set. Next up is photographic styles. Now photographic styles is a set of different adjustments that Apple offers you, and you can basically choose what kind of skin tone and what kind of lighting and what kind of exposure you want in your photos directly when you take a photo. Either you can choose from all these preset adjustments, or you can basically go ahead and also customize any option, which is pretty cool. Thing is, you can also do this after you take a photo, right? So for me, it only makes sense to choose standard here and then apply styles after I take a photo, right? Because that way it makes more sense to me. All the other next settings are video record. We are not talking about videos in this video, so videos in this video. So we'll skip that. And next up is formats. So now Apple offers you two kind of formats, right? High efficiency and most compatible. Straight on, I will choose high efficiency. Now, high efficiency is a format that Apple offers you. It maintains a balance between file compression and high quality photos. So you get really cool high quality photos with reduced file sizes. So I would always choose high efficiency. Next up is photo mode. I usually select 24 megapixel. You should also do the same so that your photos have high quality. Next up is ProRAW and resolution control, and I usually turn it on. Next up is ProRAW format. So what kind of file format do you want to use with ProRAW? So when I choose this, you have three options: JPEG lossless, which is most compatible, JPEG XL lossless, and then JPEG XL lossy. If you are a serious photographer and if you have tons of storage, you don't care about storage in your phone or hard drives, you can go with JPEG lossless. It will give you huge file sizes, right? But the quality will be great. In my opinion, right? You don't need that. So I will always go with JPEG XL lossy. And the reason is you can still get really high quality photos with reduced file sizes. Honestly, in my opinion, I did not see a very big difference between JPEG XL lossy and lossless most compatible. So for me, JPEG XL lossy makes more sense. And I feel it will also make sense for you once you compare the two formats, right? So I'll go in and select JPEG XL lossy. Next up is preserve settings. So you can basically choose to preserve all the adjustments, all the settings that you did, so that you don't have to change it back every time. And I agree, so I will turn everything on. Next is composition settings, and I'll start with turning on the grid because I would really like to have a 3x3 grid, right, so that I can compose my photos properly. Next up is level, and I would turn it on, and the reason is I don't want my phone to be tilted while taking photos. So I would really like the level indicator to tell me if the phone is not straight, right? So I'll turn it on. Next up is view outside frame. I would obviously turn it on, and the reason is while I'm taking photos, I also want to see what's outside my frame. How can I include that? So I'll turn it on. Next up is photo capture fusion camera. Now I will talk to you about it more in the detail when we explore the camera app itself, but I usually turn everything on. So I'll switch on the 28mm and 35mm, and I will select the first option, which is default to 24mm 1x, right? What is this? I'll talk about when we explore the camera itself. Next up is portraits in photo mode, and I usually turn it on. And this is especially very useful when you are taking portraits, when your subject is a person, dog, cat or whatever animal. The camera basically gives you more information about depth, so that when you compose and take a photo, you can make better decisions by applying a filter, right? Next up is prioritize faster shooting. I usually turn it on, right? Next up is lens correction. I turn it on because I want to remove any distortions. Next up is macro control. Now this is very interesting. Now the iPhone 17 also allows you to shoot macro photos, right? Which means that if I go closer to a subject, I start seeing this flower symbol at the lower left corner, right? Which means now you can take macro photos. So it allows you to focus on the subject very closely, and you can take a macro photo, which is very cool. And I like the indicator also. So for now, you can turn it on. Next up is lens cleaning hints, and I usually turn it on. And the reason is this is a very cool idea. Apple tells you if your lens is dirty, it will prompt you telling you to clean it. Don't be lazy, clean it again and again. So I usually turn it on because I don't want any smudges or dirt in my photos, right? So these are the settings that you can change in your camera settings app. Now we will go to the camera app itself and explore other options, right? So now that we are in the camera app, let's talk about the settings from top to down, right? So in the top, on the left hand side, you see these controls, which is format and resolution, right? Now it really depends on you. If you are short on storage, I will recommend choosing HEIF, which is again a high efficiency format that Apple offers, and 24 and 48 megapixel, right? Now Apple offers all three lenses in iPhone 17 Pro at 48 megapixel camera, which is really nice, right? But this also means you get high file sizes, very big file sizes. So it's up to you. So for now, I will select high efficiency with 48 megapixel. My personal recommendation is, if you are really serious about taking high quality photos and you don't care about storage, I will go all out. I will select RAW with 48 megapixel. That is the best file format for you. Second is, on the right hand side you can see some controls. First is flash. You can turn it on or off, right? You can also turn live photo on or off. I usually turn live photo on, but if you're doing fashion or portraits, you can turn it off. If you take a live photo, be aware that these photos are big in file sizes, right? Big because they are essentially small clips of videos, right? So please keep that in mind. Then there is exposure. Now by default, the iPhone 17 screens are really bright. They are brighter than the previous models. So what happens is your highlights are automatically very bright, and sometimes they are also blown out. If you blow out your highlights just when you are taking photos, it's very difficult to recover from that, right? So I will recommend decreasing your exposure by half a stop or one stop. Next up is aspect ratio. Now I usually go with 4:3 because this gives you the maximum space, and so I'll suggest you choose 4:3. So Apple offers you three kind of lenses, which is ultra wide angle lens, a standard lens, and then a telephoto lens, right? So 0.5 is your ultra wide angle lens, and I use it a lot for taking street photos, capturing a lot of in the scene, which is really good, and the photo still comes out at 48 megapixel though, so you get really high quality photos. Again, as I talked about standard lens, you can use it for different kind of scenarios. I can recommend it for using with street photography, portrait photography, fashion portraits also, and it's good. For telephoto lenses, my recommendation would be to not zoom more than 4x if you are doing a tiny bit of professional work, or if you are doing serious kind of shoots. Now we go to the bottom of the screen, and now we talk about these two options. Now Apple has made the display very clean and intuitive, but you are not losing any options. So if you feel that you can only see two options, where are the other options, you can just press and hold on photo and you can see other options like pano, spatial, portrait, photo, and all that, right? So now if you're going to portrait mode, you can choose between different lighting setups, but let me show you something interesting. You see on the left hand side you have this 1x, then you can choose between 1x, 2x and 4x. This means the maximum you can zoom without losing quality is 4x, right? So these are the best camera settings that you can use in your iPhone 17 Pro to take amazing photos like you would do in a digital camera. I hope you really like this video, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below if there is any other setting that you usually set in your iPhone 17 Pro which basically makes a difference in your photos. I would love to hear from you. And again, keep taking photos, enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.